First of all, thanks to Evan and Abby and the whole LDV team for inviting me here today. I'm Ben. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Forma Technologies, and I'm really excited to share a little bit about how we're using computer vision to chase some very ambitious goals, but also try to build a business along the way. Cool. So in the digital world, my guess is that most of you here today feel like I do, which is overwhelmed by choice. Now, that's a good problem to have, but I feel like that's still a problem nonetheless. And so in response to this, people are demanding that the products and services they use are personalized. So what that means is that people want to make decisions on their own terms. So for myself, I want the products I use to be personal. I want it to be unique to myself, or at least feel like it's unique, and I want to be able to customize it. I also want it to be convenient. So if I make a decision, I don't want to have to think about all the steps thereafter. I just want it to magically happen. And number three, I want to be in control. I want to decide when and where I want something, specifically how much I want. And if I really like it, I want to binge as much as I can. So companies that have done very well have flourished in recent years by reducing the distance between people and the products and technologies that they use. So at Forma, what we want to do is build photorealistic avatars, which will put people into the center of their digital worlds with a visual identity. So if I'm Selena Gomez and I wake up in the morning and I say, hey, I want to be an athlete, or I want to see myself walking down the catwalk at New York Fashion Week, or I want to play Fortnite as myself, or do a video conference in some future VR, AR world, she should be able to do that. So we have really lofty goals at Forma, and what we're starting is with clothing and e-commerce as our wedge into the marketplace. So most of you are probably familiar with the offline shopping experience, which is, I walk into a store, I pick out a couple of items that I want to try on, and I decide, these are the couple items that I want to buy. So, normal shopping experience. You contrast that with the online shopping experience, where you go into a website, you look at a product item, the model may or may not look like you, and you have to make a huge leap to decide, do I want to buy this item or not? And what we try to do at Forma is give the customer an opportunity to see the item on themselves before they actually purchase. And there's two ways that you can do that with Forma. The first is to allow customers to choose a model that they can relate to better. So the merchant here can provide a couple of different models of different body types, skin colors, ethnicities, even photo environments. And the customer could choose as many or as few as they like. And they can see what the item looks like on a model of their choice. The second option is to see the item on themselves. So if I'm browsing this item, I say this model doesn't look anything like me, I can upload or take a photo and see what the item looks like directly on me. So the idea is that the customer can build comfort in their purchase decision before they have to actually transact. So the beauty of building software is that it's very scalable. And so what we're building only requires one, what we call avatar from each person, which is just one single photo. And you can try on infinite outfits. So you see here, Selena is trying on various different outfits in the same pose. On the flip side, we have merchants who can upload one photo for each product. And once we process it, anybody in the world can try it on. So we don't require any reshooting of models, Photoshop, green screens, special hardware. We don't need even any engineers to do anything. On Shopify, the merchants can just do a one-click install, and we process their existing product photos for customers to be able to try on. And from the user perspective, they can just shop the merchant websites like they did before, or download our iOS app. So obviously, what we do here today is only enabled by new technologies in the recent years. So I won't go over the mobile phones, but everybody has their computer, has a computer in their pocket, which is great. But we also more specifically rely on technology breakthroughs in deep learning for computer vision and graphics at Forma. And the other part that people don't talk about quite as much is the hardwares and the GPUs have gotten fast enough and cheap enough for us to deploy in production. So I can talk about technology all day, but what matters to merchants is, do you help my business or not? So what we see in controlled A/B testing is an increase of 35% in engagement time for merchants who deploy Forma, and a 60% increase in purchase conversion for these merchants. And so we have about 50 merchants live and 2,000 SKUs with 100,000 page views in the past couple of months since we've been deployed. So that's all I have for you here today. So I'd just like to say that we believe that the era of immersion is here, and we think that customers will demand to see an item on themselves before buying in the future. So please check us out on the Shopify App Store and the iOS App Store. We're just called Forma. Please reach out to me. I'm just Ben at formatech.com. Thanks, everybody.